Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go over to those Bitcoin 4-hour chart. So yes, as we can see, Bitcoin this morning opening it's not opening, obviously doesn't open, but trading around these these lows that we've had over the weekend. Obviously we've not quite got as low as this wick low here, and obviously we certainly haven't got towards this support area here. Realistically, all eyes are on this on stock markets at the moment. At present, these futures are trading below this support area, but obviously this can pretty much get bought back up pretty quickly before the open, and then get bought up when the cash markets open. So I wouldn't read into this too much, because you do often see wild moves, especially before the cash market opens on Monday, opposite to the direction that they trade before. You get big swings in these basically, so we'll see what happens there. But obviously if we are to continue lower here at the open of the cash markets, then that is going to be probably not a good signal for Bitcoin. We will most likely get dragged down with that. So yeah, so all eyes realistically on that. Back over to Bitcoin. Realistically, it needs to get back over 40,000 to clear all these wicks, to then have a good shot of then trying to get back above 42,000. That is basically what we're looking at here. Anything realistic below that will just be a rejection of the old support as new resistance. OSNR, old support, new resistance. That's what that will be. So yeah, let's have a look at some of these other markets, because they are not looking particularly how we would like them to look. Well, there you have oil futures opening, telling you that things are clearly not de-escalating with regards to Ukraine. This is obviously this isn't open at the moment. Dollar index also just creeping up further as well. Also with gold, just as a note, just as a side note, obviously people usually think gold trades inversely to the dollar. Obviously we've got the gold and dollar going up quite clearly here. Obviously tick to 2,000 handle, eased off a bit, but yeah, continuing up. It was interesting to see this this wick up, this slam all the way back down, and we're now cleanly above that. So yeah, gold making a move. I mean, I hope we all stocked up whilst price was just doing this for a while, because obviously price may do this for a while, and then certainly establish a higher value relationship. But we've got to obviously look at this on the weekly and just be like, oh, here we go, yeah, and just be like, this could be the start of something special for good old Peter Schiff, and especially if obviously for Peter Schiff, if crypto is getting whacked as well whilst gold is doing this, we will not hear the end of the gloating. But hey, every dog has its day. I would say that even a broken clock is right twice a day, but I wouldn't really say that Peter Schiff is any sort of an idiot. I mean, he's not just a broken clock getting stuff right. I mean, he's made lots of calls over his years. He's a successful businessman. That's, I guess, why the Bitcoin community does kind of still listen to him, even though we don't like some of his calls, because we still kind of deep down we respect his analysis. So yes, that all being said, silver also making a little bit of a move here, not as strong. The gold silver ratio clearly not doing anything spectacular at the moment. Would be nice to see a nice acceleration here, because obviously us degens over here are more invested in the high risk PM, which is silver. So we'd like to see this go on a mission. But yeah, obviously just things not looking too good. At some point though, we are potentially going to have to hit some sort of a ease off, a pullback. I mean, it's looking like an area that obviously the dollar could pull back from at some point, an area that oil can, I say an area, there's no real areas, but just the extent of the move could be a point that oil moves back from. Obviously here is the 147 high. I remember this quite vividly. This basically caused a recession that then obviously then the recession then caused this down to $40. It was a very easy short trade once it got going, and as so will this. This will literally, if this carries on, come on, scroll across. If this carries on, this will ultimately also cause a recession, or maybe even a depression, or maybe even a pop of finance 1.0, who knows? And then it will have a sharp decline also. The caveat being, this is obviously priced in dollars. If we do get like a pop of finance 1.0, maybe or maybe not, the dollar will do well or not. And obviously it's priced against that variable as well. So we'll have to see what happens. Maybe it continues up against the dollars as we get some sort of inflation and dare I say hyperinflation. But hyperinflation is a bit of a taboo word to say. You say that, and then finance 1.0 people get their knickers in a twist. Ruble hammered. just look at it. Oh my gosh, ruble hammered. But we will keep reiterating the fact that Russia, but this is obviously going to cause Russia problems. There's no doubt about that. But what I will say, I'll keep reiterating the fact that that the currency of Russia is basically commodities, and they could at any point say, right, okay, then we've had enough of this currency weakness. If you want to buy our commodities, then you have to buy rubles. You have to buy them in rubles, so you have to sell your currency and buy rubles. That would pretty much then directly link obviously the ruble to commodities in much the same way that the Ponzi scammy system in the US, petrodollar system, basically pins the US dollar, just makes it trade as sort of a commodity currency on the basis that you have to then buy dollars to buy the commodity. Russia can do that. Russia can do it with its ruble. And obviously with its exports. And then what? Then what, America? Then what are you going to do? So anyway, yes, there we go. Interesting video. US 10-year clearly weakening, obviously, on the fact that we are going to have to price in this potential recession that oil is causing. If nothing else is causing, if not the Fed is going to cause it with rate hikes, oil is literally causing basically the same effect that rate hikes would. Tightening obviously spending, tightening financial conditions. Clearly the dollar is basically doing also what rate hikes would do, tightening financial conditions. Things are looking pretty dire. Sentiment is pretty negative. It does seem like we could be due a nice bounce, even if it's a pullback. And then obviously we continue with the SH1T show that we've got going on at the moment. But yeah, we shall have to see. We shall have to see what happens. Let's have a look at those stochastics. 4 hour trying to turn up from a low base here. So yeah, maybe short-term bounce. 10 hour looking to try and turn up from a low base here. Yeah, so maybe short-term bounce. 12 hour still diving though, still downward pressure. Daily got all the room to run. 2 day still pointing up though. 3 day turned back down after obviously a bit of indecision here. 5 day turning back down also, which is not ideal. But then weekly looking okay. But yeah, I mean 5 days a bit telling. With 5 days a good one to look at. Weekly pointing up though, and bi-weekly still diving. So I'm obviously monthly diving. So I mean yeah, clearly things are bad. What we need is a short term to feed through to the medium term, get a nice bounce, and then we can all use that bounce to exit before ultimately W3 kicks off. We shall have to see what happens. So yeah, there you go guys. Happy Monday morning to you all. It will be an interesting week. We obviously got a very unpredictable situation going on. But the more dire things get in this in the energy complex, I think almost the less unpredictable the situation will get, as it's certainly gonna bring people to the negotiating table. So yeah, that is it guys. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you fine people soon.